SmileyMan01, and I would like to start off this video by saying that if you're playing a champion and your stat line doesn't look like this, with maximum damage, no utility, no mobility, no crowd control, no tankiness, and minimum difficulty, then you shouldn't even bother playing the champion. If your champion can't boast a stat line like this, or even back it up with a stat line like that, just uninstall the game. I mean, MF may be the biggest definition of a walking ult that Riot has ever released into the game, other than maybe Malphite, but she does have many other redeeming qualities, as we can see here. Many other redeeming qualities are visible in these various images of my favorite champion in League of Legends. Anyways, patch notes. So what I was going to do for this video is, because I've clocked up quite a few interesting work stories, and I feel like posting them in the small discords that I'm a part of just isn't enough. I feel like these stories should be reaching a wider audience. And today we had the BIG Kahuna, the end-all be-all of work stories. So I decided to just start a video, but the game patched today, so I was going to do a quick rundown of the patch as well. So I'm just going to mold it into one horrible amalgamation of the video. Picture Karzani from Bionicle. On our update, so we now have, instead of friendly, helpful, teamwork, and honorable opponent, we now have great shot calling, stayed cool, and GG Heart. Now, I'm not, so GG Heart. So what exactly do these mean? See, I don't really know. I don't really know what GG Heart is. I don't really know what would qualify someone to be honored with GG Heart. And stayed cool, the same thing. Is stayed cool the deaf mute top laner who just sits and farms all game, picks an Nasus? A great shot calling. Oh boy, I can't wait for this one in my games. We're going to have 5 people making terrible calls, all trying to get that honor ribbon. At least they added this skip button. It'll pop up after a game. Who was cool? Skip. You know, it's just one of those games. Like, let me find it. Which one of these games was it? We had a good game in here. Where was the video game? Oh yeah, this one. This was a pretty good game. See, I really enjoyed getting into this game. Oh wait, this isn't the right one. Which one is it? Oh. Is it this one? No. I think it actually is this one. Yeah, I think it is this one. Yeah. Oh, this one was pretty good. I really enjoyed playing this game. I'm so glad that the game wanted me to honor my teammates. That nobody in this game was toxic. Nobody in this game was toxic. Everybody played really well. This game was quite enjoyable. It ended at 16 minutes and we didn't even surrender. So that was pretty cool. Galio nerfs, okay. Good. Gnar buffs. Why, I guess? I don't know. Why? I mean, Gnar hasn't been meta for like 2 months. Guess we should buff him. On-hit cannon is so dumb. I don't know why they're buffing this guy. Like, of all the champions to buff, why this guy? Like, this is a 10 damage reduction of flat damage. But when he's isolated, he deals 15% more damage. And a 10% ratio reduction, but he deals 15% more damage to isolated targets. Like, that's a buff. Who queues non-isolated targets with this champion? Nobody. I mean, this is a pointless buff. When you evolve his ulti, like, his ulti sucks. Wait, I actually can't tell. Visibility duration. I actually can't tell if this is attached to his non-evolved ulti as well as his evolved. I can't, like. Oh, involved visibility. Oh, this is attached to his regular ulti, so they buffed his ulti, and this is just so useless compared to the rest of his stuff. Kindred buffs. Now I get to lose more games when people pick this champion. Maokai's ult goes farther. I mean, the fact it travels at, like, you can actually walk faster than it moves. That's kind of why it's not good. Maokai is on the doors. Yeah, Maokai hasn't been meta for almost a month. Better give him big buffs. Oh, hey, Poppy. Haven't seen this tumor in about 3 or 4 months. Let's give her buffs again. I really enjoy champions that get doubled resistances when they drop below 40% HP. Can't wait for more of that in my games. I still have PTSD from the last time I saw this broken champ. People play Rek'Sai, but they don't win. People play Rek'Sai like every game because they want to like try a new champion or whatever, but they don't win because the new Rek'Sai's terrible, so they're just gonna keep buffing her, I guess. I hate this champ. Can queue turrets. He used to be able to. I don't remember when they took that out, but he wasn't really the most viable champ before or after the changes. So, yeah. Increased healing and regeneration to 25%. Was already giving 25%. We're fixing the bug. Whatever. Nice. Glad they added that. You know, I wonder if the bug with Braum not being able to stack his passive on a Kale ulted target's still in the game. Audio. I don't know. It's like whatever. So it gives more health, less, whatever. Let's buff this item. This is actually pretty cool. I kind of like that change. And jungle stuff, whatever. Oh yeah, Herald should be more rewarding. Yeah, because one-shotting turrets isn't rewarding. One-shotting turrets is pretty bad in League of Legends, actually, from what I've heard. Poro King comes back. I actually really like this mode. We've added more than 120 tips with different people based on their level. We've added more than 120. Try to catch them all. Different tips will be displayed to different people based on their level. Try to catch them all. So do they want me to smurf? Whatever. Vision score. Nice. So that means if I don't have a control word in my inventory, I can now see if I have one placed on the map. That's pretty cool. Random bug fixes. Buy skins and champion select. Oh boy. Can't wait for these champs to be in my games. You know, when one team with one color scheme wins so many tournaments that they can't even use the team's color scheme anymore, like what team even is this? If you saw this skin set, I would think this was like some Valkyrie skin set, whatever. Like this doesn't look anything. SKT isn't blue, they're red and white. SKT T1, enter images. Yeah, this is their logo. They're red, white. I mean, they're not even. I mean, technically, they're not. Oh, I guess they're kind of red, white, but they're more like red and gold. They're red and gold are the primary, and like white's the secondary color. Like, what is this? Look. This looks like bronze. This does not look like gold. Why do they have? Why are they flying? I don't. I don't know. They're gonna win again next year, so I guess we'll have more of those. Yeah, and this guy gets it ready for the Clown Fiesta. Everyone on the team is shotgun to get the honor reward, when in reality, no one knows what they're actually doing. Yeah, you get it, dude. Xenophobia, you understand. You understand the universe. Alright, what else we're gonna do? Oh, work stories. Alright, so let's get started. Put your helmets on, boys. It's gonna be a rough ride. So, I try to remember some of my older ones because we're gonna have a build up to what I call the Big Kahuna. Now the Big Kahuna is why I made this video, because I really want people to know the story of the Big Kahuna. It's a very important story that has a great meaningful impact on humanity, and the implications of it on society as a whole are truly mind-bending. So when I first started working, I was at a very small store. Well, not really very small, but at a small store. Compared to a modern grocery store, very small. Like, it had 21 aisles, and aisle 21 was about a 10-foot display case of vitamins and various pharmaceuticals, like Band-Aids. And I was really only supposed to be working there for a short time, and then they were going to transfer me to the new store that hadn't opened yet when they'd hired me, because they wanted me to work at the new store. New store is 57 aisles. 57 full aisles. People would come up asking me like, "Oh, do you guys know where this is?" Like, no, no, I don't. I can't. Some lady asked me where yogurt was. I was like, "Ma'am, I normally eat yogurt on break, but I can't find it in this store." Turns out it's not with the rest of the refrigerated stuff. It's actually got its own aisle in the middle of the freaking store somewhere. It's not even near dairy. It's like, I mean, I guess cheese is dairy, but it's like not near the milk where the yogurt normally is. It's like near the cheese aisle. Like, why? Or the cheese wall, I guess, not really the cheese aisle. But, I don't know, when I first started off at that smaller store, one of the most common things I heard on my earliest days was somebody was supposed to do something, but they never did. It's like, okay, this is interesting. Well, the way it ended up going is I did a lot of jobs. I did pretty much any job on the front end. Was hired as a cashier, rapidly became a trainer to train other people to cashier. They moved me to being a self-checkout attendant. I just stand there and watch the machines, make sure they work right, make sure people don't steal stuff, cheat the machines. I do pretty much every job on the front end. Pretty much anything. I mean, the freaking supervisor, I don't know, it was like 2 days ago, supervisor's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Can you watch the front end for a bit? Like, okay. I'll just stand here and, you know, I mean, nothing happened. I just stood on a wall for like 5 minutes or whatever until she came back, but it's like, okay. Or I don't know. They moved me to the news store because apparently they really needed me there. I went from working like 30 hours a week, like 30, 32 hours a week, to working like 16 hours a week. So it's like, yeah, I see you guys really need me here. And basically all I do is whatever job they need me to do. Like I don't really have any assigned position. I swear half the time I'm just standing around doing absolutely nothing because they just don't have anything for me to do. It's really frustrating. I really tried to transfer back to the other store because I really did feel like I was making a difference there. Like I was a good worker, I did a good job, I was a good employee. I was freaking personally requested by the store manager to remain at that store. And they denied my transfer request, which is kind of annoying because I don't really feel like I'm making a difference here. I don't feel very important considering other people get hours and I don't. I basically just fill people's breaks instead of actually doing anything. Um, and I get like it's just I don't know, it's just frustrating. I don't get it. And like all the people here seem to be good, competent workers for the most part. At the other store, there was a lot of people that just didn't know what they were doing. But I did a good job, so I really felt like I was making a difference. I was having an impact there. But I don't know, that's just the way it goes. But now apparently there's a management tug of war because this manager from the other, one of the managers from the other store, not a manager, more like a supervisor from the other store, came over. He was like, "You want to come back?" I was like, "I mean, yeah, I do want to come back, but they didn't let me." So I don't know. So I don't know. I guess there's a management tug of war going on because neither place is willing to give me up, even though one place desperately needs my help, and the other place could really seem to be fine without me. So that's not frustrating at all. But I do have some funny stories. Speaking of people trying to scam the machines, there's this one woman that came in. Literally looked like she was straight out of high school. She was buying like a small cart full of groceries and like 2 6 packs of beer. I just saw her walk up. In my head, it's like, yeah, no way, you're 21. Scrutinize your ID. Literally looked like she's straight out of high school. She just scanned all her groceries, scanned her beer last, and the thing buzzed her for an ID check. Went over to check her ID. She's like, "Oh, I left my wallet at home. I'm so sorry." She picks her phone and wallet up out of the cart, just walks out of the store. Void the whole order. Just push the card off to the side, give it to some guy doing go backs, inventory guy or whatever. Like, hey, put these back. I mean, I would have done it, but it's like I'm not really supposed to like leave the self-checkout area when I'm doing that. Like the reason she came through that line was to try and buy that beer. No way she was 21. I would never have believed it. I mean, if her ID looks legit and it checks out, I have no reason to deny the sale, but I never would have believed she's 21. No way. And and she wasn't. I can confidently say she was no way 21. And speaking of people buying beer and cigarettes, this was way long ago, but this woman came in, bought like $18. She bought like a 6 pack and then like two things of cigarettes. They came out as like 18-ish dollars or whatever. Of course, I carded her because she looked like if they look like they're under 40, you're supposed to card them, even if you can tell they're over 21, but it's like that weird gray area where you can confidently say they're over 21, but you're not sure if they're over 40, so you have to card them because of the law. I asked her for ID. According to her ID, she's like 28. She looks like she's almost 40. 28, or not 28, like $18 worth of beer and cigarettes. Her cards keep getting like, it'll beep like not authorized, and she takes it out. I'm like, what's the deal? Like, is it like bad chips or whatever? Because normally when people run through a lot of cards like that, they're trying to scam or whatever. Like those are stolen cards or whatever. Normally they'll be buying gift cards trying to load like $1,000 onto them, but she's just buying like $18 worth of crap. So, and I'm like, is there a problem? She's like, well, there's not enough money on them. I was like, well, I could do a partial transaction. We could just take all the money off whatever card. She's like, oh no, there's no money on them. I'm like, okay. She ended up paying cash. She paid me in 18 wrinkled ones for $18, beer and cigarettes. Put it all in a bag for her, held it up, handed her a receipt and change. Uh, Said, bam, have an amazing day. Things you see. Things you see. I'm trying to remember another interesting story. This is not that interesting. This is just weird. Like this one woman was buying like mayonnaise. She bought like 3 jars of mayonnaise and like a bunch of normal stuff, but she just bought 3 big jars of mayonnaise, like big jars. Like they're bigger than normal pasta sauce jars, normal mayonnaise jars. They're like bigger jars. Like what? She didn't even buy like sandwich material. She just bought like normal groceries, no like bread or like anything, you know? Nothing you would make sandwiches. Nothing that we'd use that much mayonnaise for. So there, she like comes up. She's like, "These are ringing up wrong. They're ringing up as like 7.99 a jar. They're supposed to be on sale for 2.99 each." I'm like, "What?" Now it was really slow, and the mayonnaise wasn't that far away. So she showed me where it was on sale, and by golly gee, it said 2.99. I'm like, "What?" So whatever. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, I can override sales and stuff, or I can override prices on the machine if it doesn't ring up correctly. But it's really all about picking your battles, you know. There's this one guy who like bought 3 coconuts because they were on sale. In the end, the sale came out to him saving 99 cents or whatever. It was like 90, like 3 cents or something on the 3 coconuts he bought. I'm not going to dispute you over 93 cents on coconuts. Who the hell cares? Who buys coconuts? Who buys whole coconuts? Who's going to miss 93 cents? It's whatever. I'll just override it. I knocked 93 cents off his order. Who cares? But I am going to verify freaking $15 in sales. That's unreal. I don't know who put that on. Oh, God. Speaking of probably incorrectly posted sales. This one Asian woman came in. This was when I was on a register, actually. She came through my lane. She had, now I remember this number exactly. She had 46 bottles of this sparkling juice. This like sparkling exotic juice or whatever, exotic fruit juice. Made with like normal fruits you can buy in any grocery store in the country, but they slapped some flowers on it and some foreign sounding name, and now they charge $1.50 for these little bottles. Not my problem. My problem was they were on sale for 25 cents off. But whatever genius printed out the tags, printed it out as 25 cents each. So rather than saving 25 cents per bottle, you're saving $1.25 per bottle because whatever moron typed up those tags typed them up completely wrong. And of course, it all rings up in the system as 125 because that's what it was supposed to be. But it's written on the tag, so we have to honor the sale. Now, of course, when someone went back there to check, they took all the tags down for those sales. They were all incorrect. We took them all down because we're not doing that again. 46 bottles. I had to override 46 bottles of overpriced fizzy drinks. It took me like 20 minutes. Because you have to, price overriding is a painful process, especially when you have to do it that many times. And then I had to call a freaking manager over because I did it too many times. Oh, I bet whoever printed up those tags had a great rest of their day, because this was real early in the morning, too. About 46 bottles of that stuff. Jesus Christ. Freaking people, man. I don't know. Whenever I cashier, there was this one bagger that I kept getting repeatedly. Would come to my lane. She was a girl. She would always come to my lane. I actually ended up really appreciating her for what she did, because most of your baggers will just disappear randomly. You'll be in the middle of scanning people's stuff and it'll all start piling up on the side. You'll look over, see if your bagger needs help. He ain't there. Like, where'd he go? I don't know. But so I actually appreciated her. She's not at the new store though, but I don't know. Today I was bagging for somebody, and so I'm just standing at the lane. The light's on. This woman comes up, starts unloading her stuff. I like look up. Cashier's not there. Oh, where is he? Look to the side and down the ends of the aisle. He's not there. Where'd he go? I don't freaking know. I just said, ma'am, I said he went to like the bathroom or something. He'll be back in like whenever he'll be back. I said he just left to go to the bathroom. He's not gonna be back for a bit. And she's like, oh, okay, she just went to a different. I mean, seriously. I mean, when I'm a cashier, my bagger disappears. When I'm a bagger, my cashiers disappear. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I would have just scanned her stuff and bagged it all up myself, but the register was locked with his code, so I can't open it. If we'd still been using the generic codes, I would have just scanned her stuff and bagged it all myself, because I don't care. But, oh, what else? Oh, yeah. My favorite position in the store is timeout. You don't call it timeout. It's called a deli self-checkout. See, there's a self-checkout down by the deli. I don't think anybody knows it's there. It's kind of behind the wall that you turn into to go to the bathroom. It's on the other side of that wall. There's like 4 tables there. They each have like 2 chairs. I don't think anybody knows it's there. You can't see it unless you're staring directly at it. There's literally nowhere to see it. There's no signs. I call it timeout because it's the most boring position in the whole store. You get about one customer every 30 to 40 minutes. I mean, you just wander around and do nothing. There's literally nothing to do. There's nobody there. I mean, the janitor will come down and he's just like dusting the floor, dusting the whatever, cleaning up the stain on the side of the wall or whatever. I'm just standing there talking to him the whole time. Any person who comes through, I would stand there and talk to them the whole time because, oh my God, you just have nothing to do. It's the most mind-numbingly boring thing I've ever done. I'd rather clean toilets. I'd rather push carts. I'd rather do anything in the store that isn't deli self-scan. Just try it sometime. Stand in your room for 5 hours. Just stand. I mean, not even. I mean, just stand anywhere. Stand in a bathroom for 5 hours. Just stand there. Just stand there and see how much fun you have. What is there to do? I mean, you can sort everything. I mean, there's nothing to do. You can perfectly align everything, and you're done in 20 minutes. There's just nothing to do with deli self-scan. It's the worst position in the whole store. I can't stand doing it. I hate doing it. It is horrible. What else we got? What else we got in the story bank? I'm trying to recall someone's. Well, can't seem to think of any right now, so let's get started with the Big Kahuna. So the Big Kahuna starts off by I open my garage to back my car out to leave. There's a huge trailer parked halfway across my driveway because the lawn people are mowing like the neighbor next to us lawn or whatever. The neighbor across the street or whatever. They got half a trailer parked across my driveway. So I gotta, instead of just backing out of my driveway, gotta do like some swivel swervel to get out of my driveway to avoid hitting their trailer and the junkyard mobile that's parked in front of my lawn. It's not our car, it's the neighbor's car. They park it in front of our lawn. Literally the most jank ass junkyard mobile you ever seen. I wouldn't be surprised if they towed that thing straight out of a scrapyard. It is a jaundiced yellow 1970s Toyota Corolla with no hubcaps. Literally the most disgusting motor vehicle I've ever seen in my life. Should be criminal for it to be be seen on the roads. They park it in front of our house, in front of our lawn. So when I drive home, instead of looking at my nice trees, my nice flowers, my nice house, I get to see this crime against eyesight instead. I don't think they drive it. I've never seen my work schedule, I work whenever they call me in. I leave the house at 5 a.m. Sometimes I leave the house at 4 p.m. So I'll get back at like whenever. The car is, I've never once seen that car not there. No matter when I leave, no matter when I come back, no matter what time it is, I have never once seen that car not there. I don't think they drive it. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't even run. But that car is in front of my house. So I make my way out of my neighborhood, make my way to work, get to work. Day goes by pretty uneventfully. About 15 minutes or so towards the end of my shift, there's a big old commotion going on outside. I don't know what's going on. Take a look outside. There's this huge black dude with no shirt, just shouting. I cannot understand a word he's saying. He's just shouting and jumping around. He looks like he's having a bad day. Something on fire. This is fucking serious. It's just this thing just sitting there. I don't even know what it is. It's this patch of fire just burning there. He's holding a shopping cart above his head like a Tuscan raider, just shouting and jumping around. He throws the damn cart into the parking lot. Just clash, 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 clash. Someone comes up to me. I don't even know if it was an employee or a customer or whatever. I didn't even look at them. I was just staring out the window going, what? And they came up to me and was like, well, do something about it. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? This is so much somebody else's problem. So I just start heading to the machine so I can go clock out. Pass by another employee on the way. Um, he is a middle-aged dude. He's a cashier. I said, hey, can you like call the cops or something? Because I'm clocking out. My shift ends in 10 minutes and that is somebody else's problem. So I clocked out, took the side exit, got in my cart, got in my car and went home. Now I'm not dealing with that. If someone wants to jump around in front of the store and throw carts and set things on fire, that's their business. It's also somebody else's problem. I'm not going to go anywhere near that guy. Somebody else can deal with him. That is by far and away the craziest thing, one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen anything crazier than that. Not that I can recall anyways. That is just insane. That was definitely the end-all be-all of work stories. That was definitely the end of this video. I got my stories out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The patch rundown was a little crappy. It was pretty brisk. There wasn't really much to talk about. You guys know I'm pretty much a bot lane only. I play bot lane 99% of the time. The only time I won't play bot lane is if I trade roles with somebody, and I'll just play some passive farm champ and just farm because I can manage to not feed my lane or whatever. But people who play in off roles generally can't pull that off. So the changes, I think, for the most part, were pretty terrible. This was a pretty awful patch as far as champion balancing goes. Zac being double banned in every single ranked game I've ever played and then not getting nerfed at all is pretty interesting, to say the least. There's a lot of champs in this game that need to be rebalanced that weren't addressed in that patch, and a lot of champs that really didn't need buffs were buffed in that patch. A lot of champions that I really wish would stay down for a while, especially considering it's a tank meta. There was a really strange amount of tank buffs for a tank meta. Like, they buffed a lot of tank items. Like, they buffed Sunfire, they buffed Cinderhawk, they buffed the jungle items. They buffed a lot of tanks, which is really weird for a tank meta. But they only buffed tanks that were previously meta. They didn't buff Nasus. They didn't buff Shen. They didn't buff Nautilus, Malphite. What's the other tank? What's the other tanks that never get played? I mean, they didn't buff Yorick. They didn't buff a lot of tanks that have never been meta, but they buffed a lot of ones that were meta, and not even that long ago, even before the meta shifted to a tank meta. They didn't buff a lot of champions. They just buffed a lot of like older meta champions, and I'm just like, why? Horrible balancing, to be honest. Horrible balancing. This was a terrible patch. I'm not even a huge fan of the new honor system because it means I lost all my honor. Like, I had like 800 freaking honorable opponents. No, I had like 800 teamwork, like 600 honorable opponents, 100 something helpful, and like 70 friendly. Like, I had a lot of honor, and I don't get anything for it in the new system, which is pretty dumb. I also don't like the way they worded the new system. They should have kept it as friendly, helpful. The only wording I would have changed is I would have done friendly, helpful, team player, and honorable opponent. I would not have changed the wording the way they did. I already complained about the wording, so I'm not going to do that again. But I don't really like the new honor system. I like how they're introducing rewards, but I feel like people are just going to end up trying to cheat the system by honoring their duos, stuff like that. I just feel like the whole system is kind of broken, to be honest. Maybe the old one wasn't the best, but I don't think the new one's a good replacement. Champion balancing on the new patch was pretty terrible, so I'm not really too excited to start playing this game. On the bright side, I have found a way to have fun in World of Tanks. It's called avoiding the cancer that currently exists at the higher tiers of gameplay, known as the Swedish tanks, which once you get to tier 8, you get turrets that are literally unpennable, and you get tank destroyers that are stealth and can climb like freaking sheer cliff faces with no trouble at all. It is disgusting DPM, insta-travel shells, point and click penetration, completely cancerous lines. Both of them should be removed from the game or nerfed into unplayability because neither line is balanced in the slightest. Additionally, ranked battles, I'm not even going to touch those ever, but I have found a way to have fun in that game. I've been playing in middle and lower tiers, mostly with the KV-2 and the Hetzer. I'm planning to pick up some other middle tier tanks, also with derp guns. I'm probably going to be looking into getting a tier 5 soon. I think I'm definitely getting the KV-1, but that means I have to train out of the Russian crew, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm probably definitely going to get the Panzer 4H, the M4 Sherman. The other low-tier derp I might consider is one of the lower-tier British cruisers. And also I'll be getting some artillery. Maybe I'll get a French LEF. As far as regular artillery goes, I'm probably going to be picking up a Hummel and an M44, a Grilla and a Hummel soon. I'm also going to be grinding the Jap heavy line. I'm not sure how high-tiered we'll go in that. We'll see, because the time it's going to take me to grind that line is quite long. So by the time I get to the high tiers, hopefully the devs will have opened their eyes and Swedish tanks will have been rebalanced, and high tiers will once again be playable and not be pervaded by stealth vehicles and indestructible tanks with no weak points on their turrets anyways. Like, those tanks' armor is not that good unless it's on the front of their turret, but the problem is there's nowhere to shoot those tanks on the front of their turret. They're not even like American tanks where they have cupolas. The tank has literally no weakness. Like, it doesn't even have bad gun depression. It has amazing gun depression. And of course they auto-load as well, because why would you need a vehicle to be even more cancerous? Just stick an auto-loader drum on it and you already have like a rolling ball of tumors. Like it oozes AIDS as it propels itself across the battlefield. Anyways, so I have been streaming kind of regularly. I stream at kind of weird hours because my internet really sucks when a lot of people use it, and I live at home with my mom and my brother. So streaming already taxes my internet quite severely, and not to mention playing games does as well. So I usually don't play that much or stream ever. I never stream unless nobody's home or it's a very late night, which means everyone's asleep and no one's using the internet. So my streaming times are really awkward, and it's fairly unfortunate because I feel like a lot of my viewers are asleep. But I wouldn't say stay up just to watch me, but hey, if you see me online, feel free to drop by, say hi in chat. I really do socialize a lot during my stream. It's one of the main things I love. I just love talking and interacting with the viewers. Normally there's only one or two of them, but hey, I can't complain. Good friends, all of them. I've had some good times in chat. Good plays. Good fun. It's been all in good fun. And I really want to start making more regular YouTube videos again because I really feel like I've been neglecting this. And it has a lot to do with my work schedule, me trying to get the streaming going. So instead of doing videos, I've been streaming. And then I don't do videos a lot anymore, or stream a lot. I mean, I don't even play games that much anymore because work just is so taxing on me. I come home after 8 hours of standing. I don't want to do anything. I want to go to bed, you know? But so I'm gonna try to get more stuff out there because I know you guys like watching it. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you'd like to see a more detailed rundown of the new patch, maybe I can do a gameplay video with a more detailed patch rundown about some of the specific champions that I think were affected. But I think we're just going to leave it as is for now. We're going to go ahead and close it off here. If you guys watch this video, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment telling me your thoughts on this video, what you would like to see in the next one. Did you enjoy the work stories? I really thought they're funny stories. But so leave me a comment. If you have any questions about like gameplay or whatever, leave me a comment. I'll try to get back to you when I can. And if I'm streaming, just feel free to say hi or whatever, to ask me questions, anything like that, because, you know, I like talking to people. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, stopping by. See y'all in the next one.